Hello and welcome to Back Road to Nowhere. In this video I'm going to walk you through how I remove the wet toilet from my Lance 825 truck camper and I installed a composting toilet, the Origin by Ogo. Everything in the install went very smooth, basic skills and basic tools to do it, and it went very quick. So stay tuned. One of the early renovations and improvements I'm going to make on this Lance 825 is removing the Thetford stock factory flush toilet, which works perfectly fine. The previous owner didn't use it for solids at all, and they didn't even have the camper use it that much. We're going to remove this and replace it with a high-end composting toilet, and we're going to bring you along for the install. Now the one we got is very nice, and I did my best measuring, and I think it'll fit here. If not, we may have an issue. But I think I'm going to have to bring in some electrical and possibly even vent it, although venting is not necessary, and we'll discuss that later too. Okay, we got the flange off. We'll have to clean it up and run to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a cap for that. No caps that'll fit, but we can get one of these to work. We're just going to have to grind it down because it's a little bigger. The plug I bought is a little too big, so I could either grind that down or make that bigger. So we're going to try using the heat gun, stretching that plastic out. Well, what we ended up doing is the heat gun didn't work. I ended up having to grind this plug down, trim the rubber, and heat the whole inside of that tube coming out of the black tank with my torch. Softened it up, and then we were good to go. Now we got to deal with the water line. I'm going to show you here on this access panel. You can see the black tank, and you can see the plug we put in. Well, the good news is this all went pretty easy. Got it capped off. The PEX, I just bought a threaded piece. I wanted to save this just in case we reverted instead of just cutting it. We kept this. We bought this piece at Home Depot. I had some PEX laying around and a PEX cap. We just pressurized it and it's not leaking. Now if the toilet doesn't fit in here, I'm gonna have to find where this line comes in and cap it off, or deal with it further up the run closer to the tank to cut this off to make room. Hopefully we don't have to do that. Just for the time being, I'd like to leave it here if possible. We got to clean this up, smooth it out, and figure out how we're going to cover this, or if we're just going to put the toilet right over it and seal it and fasten it down. Also, I noticed, and you probably did too, there's no insulation right under this area here. You could see it better from the outside view. So I might insulate that as well. Well, I have some more good news with installing this composting toilet. I found the vent for the black tank, and this fascia, this trim piece, just pops right out. And now I can see the water line. I can actually unscrew it and cap it off there and have it all hidden. So I'm going to do that. And I ordered a saddle tee to tie into this pipe to vent the toilet should I opt for the direct vent method of installing. And the electrical, I'm going to run down and follow the water line, which I can access from outside that other little panel I showed you, and run it right into the battery compartment. Okay, making some progress. So this is the little access hatch on the side of the camper where the black tank is. You can see the plug we put in earlier. I ran the cord that came with the composting toilet. This powers the 12-volt vent fan. It's going down the stack in the back of the original black tank roof vent. It's gonna come through here. It's going down along the black tank, and it's gonna pop out over here. And right over here is the battery compartment. So it's just gonna be a quick, easy setup there. We really lucked out with this whole install. It couldn't be easier. We've got the wire run. I'm gonna finish up filling these cavities with insulation. There's a bunch behind it around the drain. I put a piece here. This is just, looks like 1 1/4 inch polystyrene, I think it's called. Polyiso from Home Depot probably. I'm going to do the same up in here. So OGO gives you the option of venting from either side. It's a simple matter of popping out one, taking the other and moving it to this side, which in my application I'm going to want. It'll just make the routing of the vent hose easier. Morning. Today we're going to near complete, if not totally complete, the installation of our OGO Origin composting toilet in our 2022 Lance 825 truck camper. Today my plan is, you can see it's in place. It's a tight fit, but it does fit. The electricals run. Today we're going to tie into the vent stack from the black tank, and that's what we're going to vent our OGO Origin into, using everything that came with it. We did upgrade the fan through OGO to a high output fan, but we're going to tie right into that. We also have the charcoal filter option for those that don't want to vent. You can vent it down the bottom, out the side, or the stack is right here, in this case from the old toilet, going right up the ceiling through the roof, so we're going to go that route. We're going to secure it down with some caulk adhesive, 2 screws in the back. The ones in the front aren't going to work out. We're going to put a little ledge under here. If you can see with the depth of field here, I'm going to have to stick something here to support the front of it. But the factory toilet that came with this unit also came past this plane here. So that's not going to be that much of a problem. It doesn't take up any more space than the factory one, except the fact that it is taller. So let's get busy. Okay, we're at the next stage. We've got the hole drilled in the fascia board that hides the black tank vent stack. We've got our shoulder joint on there, or saddle joint I think it's called, that little fitting that's going to protrude, that we're going to hook up the OGO's vent hose to. Well, we're at the point where we're going to install the toilet. We've got the vent tube in, the electrical, the water line capped off from the old toilet. Electrical's tested and running, and now we're using some, I think it's Sikaflex 221, I believe. It's an adhesive and sealer. We loaded the floor up with it. We'll set the OGO on that, and then we'll use the 4 bolts that came with it to fasten it down. Here's the final installation of our OGO Origin composting toilet in our Lance 825 truck camper. As you can see, it is a little taller than the stock wet toilet was, and to make things easier on the shorter people in my life, I built a little wood platform to rest your feet on and to hop up on, which makes it easier so your feet aren't dangling. But it also serves a good purpose, since most of the time we're going to shower outside. It's another good place for storage to put wet shoes. You could keep your toilet paper under there, or your extra compost. I also do have a cover that we got from OGO that fits this toilet perfectly, because it's not supposed to be soaking wet. The cover protects you, or protects the toilet from getting wet when you do shower in here. Not to mention we also have another curtain that goes over and can cover it as well. So we still have to do some more testing with it, but so far so good. The installation was a breeze. Everything, it's one of those installations, usually things all turn to crap real soon, or very rarely do they just work out perfectly, and everything just fell into place, from removing the old one, plugging the drain, the way the black vent worked for venting the toilet. The electricity was easy. It all worked out very well. Well, I hope you found that information useful. Below, please comment, subscribe, and sign up for notifications. It's the only way these channels grow with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it, so we can continue bringing you content, which is our plan. Thank you.